Dawn breaks over a kingdom of secrets, where power is held within silent, frozen walls. Behind these closed doors, the map of the world is being redrawn by a single hand. An entire continent claimed not by the sword, but by the cold calculation of the pen. I shall not let this opportunity pass. The heart of Africa shall belong to the crown alone. The ink is dry, but the legacy of this silence will echo through the ages to come. To my dear colleagues in Europe, I propose a mission of pure humanitarian progress. We shall bring the light of civilization to the dark corners of the earth. A vast territory, rich in resources, waiting for the firm hand of European order. They are but children, and I am their benevolent guardian. The land is mine. Leave us. I have a world to reshape, and no one shall stand in my way. Leopold writes with a newfound openness. The secrecy between kings now hardened into a conspiracy of absolute, untouchable power. With the press of the seal, the intent is finalized. A command that cannot be undone. The world will see a peaceful facade, while my true intentions remain hidden in the shadows of the Congo. The message begins its long journey, carrying consequences that the world has yet to see. A peaceful facade hiding the darkest of intentions. The dawn of a new, terrible era. In the grand halls of Brussels, a masterclass in deception was unfolding before the world's elite.
Our only aim is the progress of civilization and the sacred duty of Christian upliftment for all.
Refined propaganda, dressed in the language of morality, masked a far darker ambition. The faithful believed his words, providing the moral authority he needed to shield his actions. The press carried this noble narrative across borders, unknowingly becoming the tools of an expanding empire. While Europe sipped its morning coffee, the headlines spoke of a noble mission in the heart of Africa. Maps depicted a vast, empty wilderness, ready to be tamed. A land of immense resources, seemingly devoid of its people. But the truth was hidden beneath the canopy. Rubber and blood became the currency of progress. In private salons, the rhetoric of morality masked the cold calculation of immense profit. With a stroke of a pen, a king claimed a continent, disguising absolute control as benevolence. With the meetings over and his power secured, Leopold walked his halls in quiet triumph. The printing presses worked tirelessly, turning his grand deceptions into the accepted truth of the age. In Europe, the elite feasted on the fruits of a progress they never questioned. But in the Congo, that same progress was paid for in blood, sweat, and total exhaustion. Yet, far from the palace, the first seeds of doubt began to take root in honest minds. Leopold smiled for the world, a master of shadows, his great lie finally and fully accepted. In the shadows of his private study, the king's true intentions began to take shape, far from the eyes of the public. Our empire is not built on charity, but on the cold reality of profit and absolute dominion over the land. Every figure on these pages represented a life bargained away for the wealth of a distant and uncaring crown. Deep within the forest, the true cost of his greed was paid in blood and agonizing labor by those he claimed to civilize. Under the watchful eyes of the state, terror became the primary tool of the rubber trade, leaving an absolute imbalance of power. The silence in the village was heavy, a suffocating dread that paralyzed every soul as the ledger of quotas was opened. With a stroke of a pen, punishment was ordered, not as a fit of rage, but as routine administration and chillingly normal cruelty. Severed hands became a grim currency of terror, proof that bullets were never wasted in the pursuit of rubber profits. In the shadows of the jungle, the innocent watched, their childhoods ending in a single moment of witnessing unspeakable horror. Thousands of miles away in Europe, King Leopold dismissed the reports with a scoff, choosing vast wealth over human life. Wealth flows into Europe. Rubber and ivory stacked high on docks that ignore the blood on the crates. Factories hum with progress, powered by distant suffering. The foundation of a modern world built on agony. Behind closed doors, money changes hands. Satisfied smiles and a shared silence seal the corruption. In the jungle, the truth remains. A flickering fire reveals stains that cannot be washed away. A signature in Europe. A single seal that sets 1,000 homes ablaze. The distance between cause and consequence is measured in blood. In the hushed corners of 1890s Europe, a dark secret began to leak. Whispers of atrocities in the Congo were growing louder, haunting the Gilded Age. Deep in the interior, a lone missionary struggled to record the truth. Each word felt like a weight, a dangerous testimony against a king's greed. To speak out was to invite ruin. The silence of the jungle was nothing compared to the crushing weight of the truth he held in his hands. But the truth cannot be buried forever. As the letters arrived in the heart of the empire, the comfortable lies of the powerful began to unravel. While the world whispered of horrors, King Leopold sat in his gilded cage, dismissing the cries of millions as mere paperwork.
Make sure the press understands. These reports are fabrications from our enemies. Silence them with gold or threats.
Print that, and your investors vanish overnight. Think of your family and the comfort of our city. In the Congo, the silence was deafening. No aid came, no voices rose, only the quiet agony of a forgotten people. Even the enforcers were haunted, broken by the weight of their own obedience in a machine of greed. A single report holds the weight of 1,000 lives. Duty and conscience collide here. In the warmth of Europe, the cries of the Congo are buried under polite conversation.
These allegations are baseless fabrications designed to strike at the heart of our civilizing mission.
The truth is a fire. Once lit, it will consume the lies they have built.
Silence is a heavy burden, shared by those who saw the darkness and survived it. A quiet world ignores the storm, but the reckoning of history never truly sleeps. The long-held silence of the Belgian court was finally shattered as the first whispers of the Congo's truth spread. Disturbing photographs emerged, documenting the unthinkable atrocities committed in the search for rubber and gold. In his palace, King Leopold's grip on power began to slip as the global press turned against him. Desperation set in as his advisors scrambled to bury the evidence and discredit those who spoke out. But the truth could no longer be contained. The ink of the printing presses became a weapon for justice. The silence was breaking. Across Europe, ordinary citizens read the harrowing reports, their faces etched with a growing, troubled conscience. Testimonies from survivors filled the air, heavy with pain. In these quiet rooms, the horror finally found a respectful, shocked audience. In the halls of power, officials gathered. Documents were exchanged and pressure mounted as the world demanded accountability for the Congo. Late at night, Leopold sat alone. Candlelight flickered over his letters, his once unshakable confidence fading into a cold, creeping unease. Rereading his own words, past arrogance met future judgment. The irony was heavy, and the reckoning had finally begun. The lines drawn in blood and greed began to blur. Authority, once absolute, faltered under the weight of truth. Across the vast basin, the scars remained. Memory refused to fade, a testament to the human cost of an empire built on shadows. History opened its ledger. Leopold's name was etched not in gold, but in the dark ink of judgment, a record he could no longer control. Palaces stand silent and cold, but the river flows on. Truth outlives power, and time carries the echoes of the forgotten into the light.